You know what? I'm gonna start some shit. I'm gonna start some shit for the fellas out there. This is just women in general.
Here we go. Here we fucking go. Let me get comfy for this.
I love this. They both took their sip. Same time. Put their cup down at the same time.
I'm comfy. I was waiting for you to sit down.
Oh, yeah. Well,
all right. Anyway, hold on. Let me do my intro. All right, guys. Welcome back to another episode of The Least Favorite. I am Natalie with my co-host.
I have to introduce myself.
Yes.
Anthony.
Yes. And today we are joined by Anthony's close friend, Jasmine. Let me give you a round of applause.
No full name.
No full name. I don't know your last name. Did you watch your full name?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're supposed to do full names? We never do that.
No.
So I did, all right. So starting on a heavy no, unfortunately. But I did want to say rest in peace to Takeoff, who died. When was it? Today is Wednesday. He died yesterday, Tuesday. So that was heavy for me because I love the Migos and I love Takeoff. I thought he was one of the best ones out of that group lyrically. And it just brought some things, like some things were being posted online. And I saw something and I wanted to know what you guys thought of this. So like somebody had posted, maybe this is karma. And I don't know if she meant it in a fucked up way, but she was like, if you put that energy in your lyrics, right? You're talking about killing, you're talking about violence, then like you're putting that energy out there. So it's only a matter of time before that energy comes back to you. And like maybe that's something that he called on to himself. Do you guys agree with that?
No. I don't think death is anyone's karma. Because I think about all the people that die that shouldn't. What are you going to say? That's karma as well?
Yeah.
So I look at that totally different. I don't think anybody should have death upon them because of what they say or do. Mm-hmm. Like I don't believe in that.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I thought that was a little harsh.
Yeah.
Especially with death, no matter what, it's coming to us all.
To all of us.
It's inevitable.
No matter how
if you talk about it or not.
Yeah.
I will say when it comes to just rap lyrics in general that are more like gangster rap or speak about violence, it does, I think it kind of makes you a target a little bit because then people want to see how tough you are. Unfortunately, you know, they like if you're just out trying to have a good time, everyone thinks like you're always on 10 ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, when that's not the case. I just want to have some like what's his name? PNB Rock was just eating with his family.
Yeah.
He ain't thinking about he's not trying to be on some I don't know if I'm not, and I don't want to even say
but he was just
speaks about that stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm just using that as an example as an artist that died recently.
Yeah.
He's just there eating a meal. Mm-hmm. Like even gangsters turn it off sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like look at like when Nipsey was murdered, he was just in front of his strip mall, in front of his establishment, his business, just being a businessman at this time. It's not like he's really trying to be. He's not gangbanging at this point in time. He's just trying to do so. Like when you put it in your lyrics, I guess people are gonna think that you're always about this all the time, and it's like, bruh, no.
Go ahead. No, go.
Even if it was in your past, right? But I feel like nowadays a lot of young kids are trying to prove a point. Mm-hmm. I feel like most of them are like under 21. They want the street cred. They're like, oh, look what I was able to do. And they don't mind going to jail because they're like, in jail, I'm going to be straight. And I think
which is
insane. What? It's like, I did that. So
I'm
like, oh my gosh, that's our goals, to just be good in jail or to have some notoriety for something so terrible.
Yeah. I was thinking more so too, like, this just puts things into perspective because, like, we don't really talk about celebrity news or anything like that. But, like, just from a human being standpoint, like, actually being a fan and knowing, like, the drama that they were in, like, Offset wasn't talking to them, right? So I'm just like, one, it's like Quavo has to live now with the fact that, like, he was there and he was the one kind of like in the altercation while Takeoff was just behind him minding his business. And it's like, like sometimes I think when you have money, you think you're just invincible. Nobody can touch you. Nobody can harm you. And now look, like you literally saw, his nephew in a pool of blood, shot in the head. Like I'm sure right now he's probably like traumatized. Yeah. Like having nightmares, seeing it over and over again. And that kind of is what hurts me because I just feel like I'm an empath and I just be feeling people's shit. And then even like Offset, for so many months, they haven't been talking. Like they all had beef. So now you got to live with the fact that you didn't squash whatever petty bullshit it was. Yeah. And now like your cousin is dead and that's it. Like you're never going to have a chance to like rectify that or reconcile in any way. And so it puts things into perspective for me because I just feel like I need to do better at appreciating the people who are around me and showing them that love, like being there for them. But then I think about the family members that I don't really reach out to, the family members I don't talk to. And it's like moments like these happen and it's like, damn, but like, then when you try to like apply that to those people, it's not as easy. It's not like I could, like, for example, I don't speak to my grandmother. I have my reasons. She wasn't really a part of my life and I don't really agree with how she treats my mother. I'm going to always defend my mother. So for me, it's just kind of like, I could reach out. I could be a better granddaughter, but to me, it's like, for what? Like, it's not like she's going to be a better grandmother. And maybe that's a fucked up way to look at it. But it's like, you were never there for me. You never supported me. You don't look for me. You don't reach out to me. Why should I have to reach out to you? And I know that we all have our own situations with family that is similar. If you guys would like to share and get a little personal.
Love everybody.
Because it doesn't apply to you.
It never applies to Anthony.
Well, for me, I think it was a good segue to think about like not being able to make up time and feeling regret. I don't know if it's because I'm a Scorpio season, but I am very loyal to a fault until I'm not. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't say it takes one time to cross me, but repeated behaviors, if I continue to talk to you about the same thing and you keep doing the same thing and I feel the same way, I don't care what your title is. I don't. Because you are a person, I'm a person, and if it's at my expense, right, I can't do that anymore. And I used to do it just to placate, to be like, oh, your role in my life is this, so I have to be obedient or I feel obligated to do such things. At 36 years old, I am not obligated to do anything. As my aunt would say, I don't like them in my circle, you know, because when certain people come around, family members included, they bring drama, they bring just a focus on them and just make you feel uneasy. And then you're like, oh, I was just at peace. I was talking to someone. It was just like, drama is anything that disturbs my peace. Yeah. And if you disturb my peace, then you probably shouldn't be around me. I could be cordial. I could see you. I could say hi. And I'm not going to live with regret. I don't care what your title is. Grandma, ma, auntie, uncle. Nope. I'm not going to stick beside that point.
Well, you're kind of actually different than me because no. What I say is you've given more than one chance and like had conversations where like
at least you've done that.
Yeah, like when I stopped speaking to my pops, it was literally like from day to night, and it was just he lied to me about something once. And it was just like, all right, I'm just done. I just cut him off completely. I didn't even get an opportunity.
Was that? Like, why
was it so easy?
Yeah.
For me, well, I mean, I've said it many times. Like, I'm just more of a cold person. I'm just like, I was just like, fuck this dude. Like, the way, like, you don't lie to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I always looked at it as like, he was in jail my whole life, and I would go see him. We had a good relationship. And I was always like, you know, we had open, honest communications. And I'm like, bro, why the fuck would you lie to me for? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, oh, no, I'm good. That's like, you don't have no respect for this. So it's just like, all right, cut. I didn't bother having a conversation. I still this day, even when I seen him and I still didn't even bring it up. I just was like, head nod, kind of what up, had a little small, and just kept moving.
Because that was going to be my next question. I feel like the biggest thing for me is if I have a conversation with somebody and then you can't even take accountability. Oh, it's my God. Oh, I'm your mother, though. Yeah. I'm your aunt, though. It's like, wait, I'm sorry. Did you just hear everything I just said? Yeah. So I'm supposed to negate all of that because you have this position in my life? Absolutely not.
That's what they think.
It applies to everybody. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
but did you ever... Anthony, with your dad, did you ever, I know you never had a conversation with him, but did you ever try to like understand why he might have lied to you? Like put yourself in his shoes and his
because he was a dust head.
Okay.
So he had his own issues going on.
So I was just like, I'm not dealing with, so for me, I'm like, all right, he was locked up the first 21 years of my life. I was there. To me, it was like a normal relationship. I didn't know any different. Right. It was normal for me. So I didn't.
That was your normal.
Yeah, it was my normal. So it wasn't like, oh, I had a dad and like he went away. No, it was there. Like he was just been locked up the whole time. So, I forgot why do I think like, why did he do it? Like,
because, but did you ever think like, oh, like, all right, he probably thought, you know, Ant is my son. I gotta lie to him to, you know, make him, save face or just, you know what I mean?
I'm just like, That was just, because it wasn't like we would always just talk like normal people, because it's not like I had like a more like a parental, he wasn't like the parent figure to me, because he wasn't there. You know what I mean? Yeah, I looked at him as my dad, my pops, but it wasn't like I needed him to like discipline me or really give me life guidance. Because like I said, we started spending time together after I was already 21. I was already fucking an adult, working and knowing life. So when he did, I was just like, I'm like, what the fuck? But
you do know being addicted to drugs is an illness, right?
Yeah, but see, and it's also with me, like, I'm at the point where in my life where like any type of negativity type shit like that, I'm good. I don't need that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I already supported you when you were locked up all this time.
Yeah, so it's like whatever help you need, figure it out.
You gotta get past. I'm not dealing with no one that's addicted to drugs, because now you hit me up for some money. You hit me up for money so you can support your drug habit.
Yeah.
Nah, no thank you. I want no parts of that. Right. So instead of like, because I know some people who like their family members will support someone's drug habit because they don't want to see them. Not me. I'm not paying for you to go get high. Like, fuck that shit. I don't care who you are. Like, nope. So that's why it was so easy for me to just cut him off. And to this day, I never talked to him about that shit.
You think he has any idea why?
Nah. Because he called me. He called me a few times, and like I just ignored the phone calls and just like saw him, and I just kind of walked the other way. I don't. And that's the other thing. I've told about this before. I don't owe no one an explanation.
Yeah.
For what. I didn't owe no explanation.
No, my therapist always says no is a full sentence.
That's it.
Yeah, you don't owe anyone. I used to try to do that. You know how many things I delete? Because I'm like, no, because no.
I'm doing too much.
Just no. Like, I don't want to. I don't have to. I'm not going to.
That's it.
Don't ask me.
But I'm a people pleaser at heart. So my thing is like I'm always checking myself now on that. Like I'm doing too much over explaining. And it's just like, no.
Get yourself in the holes too, yeah. They will be like, but can you do this? They don't take it as a real no.
No.
It's like, oh, well, what about Tuesday?
No.
Like, no. I don't want to do it. I don't want to.
Yeah, so I'm not explaining no shit to nobody. If I don't fuck with it, it's just straight cut off.
Yeah, with Anthony, I don't even ask him over and over. If I ask him something once and he's like, no, I'm like, all right, forget it. Because I already know how he
He's not changing his mind.
Nah,
there's no convincing him.
It's a good trait to have.
So ask the question that you were going to ask. So we're going to get into a topic that we spoke about last week. Let me just brief them real quick. So last week we were talking about how we discussed race and identity with our family, with our parents, how we were raised in terms of our race, how we identify our experiences with culture and ethnicity. And so Anthony had a question on that. Because this is actually the first time we're having a Black woman, right? On
I had some things that I just wrote a little note.
We had Athena, but we didn't talk about anything with Athena. She's Jamaican, but...
Athena's crazy.
And we were just talking about toxic Tinder issues, but so
I saw this meme.
Okay.
And it says, all right. No. No. All right, so this is what it says. They haven't read this beforehand, so it says, Black girls going to college are told to keep our heads in the books on our studies and off boys and riffraff. Every Black girl I know was told this, yet I knew plenty of white girls at my PWI, which is
predominantly white institution.
There you go. Who had it clear they were not there just for school. It was a 4-year husband plan.
What?
Yeah.
So
that's what they go, so they can get out of college and be married.
This is new to me.
I didn't hear as a Black woman, I never heard like, maybe that was just the expectation though. Maybe no one had to explicitly tell me that, but I knew I was going to school to finish school.
Right.
I was not looking to be involved or looking for a husband, which I also think that's why I don't know the rates, but I'm pretty sure white women are married a lot earlier.
Oh, a lot of girls from my grad program, they got married immediately after graduation.
But I think Black women are the most highly educated.
Don't ask me.
I think they are the most highly educated people here because that's all we do is go to school. And then next thing we know, we don't have no husband, we don't have no kids, and we're 30-something years old. But that's a different topic for the same podcast.
Girl, we should have that conversation. We can absolutely have that conversation. So we'll get into it.
Do you feel that way? Because at the end of the day, you're not white.
No, I'm not white. I'm Dominican, Puerto Rican. No, it was about school. It was go to school, focus on your grades, don't look at boys, don't party. And that was it, folks. I never heard about this.
So
So
then let me ask this question, right? Wouldn't that be the ideal place to find a husband?
No, you don't know yourself.
You don't know yourself. I agree with this.
Thank God. However, I didn't. I just learned myself yesterday.
The reason why I asked that is because at least when you're with I don't want to say everyone, but most of the people that you're in school with are there to advance themselves, at least mentally somehow. Right. And they're looking to better themselves in their life, in their career.
Right.
So that's someone at least if they graduate from the school, I'm just saying.
I hear what you're saying.
I'm just saying.
The environment is cultivating a healthy partner.
Correct.
Is it? Because they're educated.
Well,
just because you're educated.
No, it doesn't mean nothing. We had this whole conversation.
I understand that part, but I'm just saying.
Education is just like a little. You could be educated and not have gone to college.
And not have common sense or emotional intelligence or respect.
I understand that. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying that would be the ideal.
I hear what you're saying, but no.
You're the only one for that.
But this is why these white girls have this, and they have this generational.
But they're probably getting divorced, or they're unhappy, or they don't know themselves. Right. They're just like, "Oh my God, this is my husband." How can you marry someone when you not know yourself?
I don't disagree.
And also, like think of the age range. Like at that, you're so young.
Your executive function hasn't even fully developed until you're 25. So. Really?
She got facts here. Okay.
I don't even know what that is. So
it's like planning, attention, time management, organization.
It's not 25? Fully developed. Your prefrontal cortex is not fully developed until 25.
Slow on that
one. But you've made significant progress.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good play. I wasn't looking at boys like that. Like, I don't know. That's just a different culture.
So you don't think that if just more of people in our communities just did that a little bit, it wouldn't be beneficial as a whole? I'm not saying it's gonna work for everyone.
Well, first, how many people in our communities are really going? I don't like. A lot of my friends didn't even finish college, and a lot of them didn't even go to college. So, like, they're definitely not meeting anybody in those areas, or unless they're going to a college party. You know what I mean? So it's like, it would be helpful, but they need to go to college. They need to get to college.
Yeah, they need to graduate first. That's the goal, and that's why they tell us go. Finish your studies, then worry about that stuff.
Yeah, because I think it's more likely you'll find someone within your career who's already gone through his experiences, maybe well-traveled, well-read, he finished school, whatever, he went through life. Then you can look for your partner. Because
nothing is guaranteed.
And nothing is, right.
That's the gist.
It's still not guaranteed.
Okay, but, all right.
Nah.
But then you're damn near 40 years old, and you still haven't found this person.
What you trying to say?
I'm almost 40 years old. That's why I just mentioned myself.
What you trying to say?
I was just saying about myself. You know?
But I'm saying, so like, I had long-term relationships when I was in college, right? And at the time, it seemed like I wanted to get married. Thank God I did not. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I did not know myself. I would not have been a good wife. It's like, I would not have accomplished what I am able to accomplish because I would have been focused on making that person happy or doing house duties or whatever people do at 23. I don't know.
Right.
But I wouldn't be able to accomplish what I have accomplished. But what does that really mean if the goal is family and the marriage? We don't know. Anthony, there are no
That's
answers.
what I was going to say. No, because you know what? We're going to go a little out of order now. This is a great way to talk.
Okay.
Listen, I asked the question.
As almost approaching both. All right. So I'm 30, 38.
36.
She said it earlier. I'm not going to repeat her age if she don't want to repeat it.
37. 37.
36.
And a half.
So nigga, your birthday's in like 2 weeks.
3/4, 7/8.
Because this conversation goes on a lot in the podcast world, but we could have it in our own, for our own viewers, right? Like, as a man and as a woman, the pressure of finding a partner, the older you get, is it different for you and you?
The pressure is worse.
See? But for you don't feel that way. Because you've said multiple times here that you're just like, I'm single. I like being single. If I die alone, it is what it is.
Yeah, but I would... So, the pressure you put on yourself or pressure from others?
Both.
What do you mean?
Both. Let's just say both.
Okay.
Do you feel pressure? Do you put pressure on yourself? And are you... I know we're all experiencing... Because I experience pressure from my family and my friends too. Find somebody, have a baby already. When you're going to get married, blah, blah, blah. I don't think men are getting that much pressure. I don't think you're getting that much pressure.
Yo, you don't understand. Like, even today, I'm one of my patients, right? This lady, she comes all the time. And she's asking me, like, wait, you don't have any kids? And, like, all this stuff. It's like, oh, you should find a good girl. You're so handsome. And, like, blah, 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 blah. You need to find someone. No, like, and all this stuff. And I'm just like, I'm good. Like,
that shit pisses me off.
It does. It's rude.
It's
rude, people.
It's rude. It's annoying. And who says that that's my ultimate goal in life?
But that's what it is for a lot of people.
It's just like, what the fuck?
It's so rude to say.
It's very rude. I think we're just in a different place. Like, that's not our end all be all nowadays. That was probably our parents' end all be all.
Yeah.
Have a family.
My mom got married at 25.
My mom was 18.
And met my dad in, like, they went to prom together. So she knew.
High school sweethearts.
I guess.
Yeah, my mom was 18. My dad was 28. So that was like a big, yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure she was 18.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, but no, so I get the pressure too, but I don't, like, that doesn't fulfill me. That doesn't satisfy me. That's not something that I'm working towards at the moment. I don't know when I will or if I will ever have that, like,
that's another thing.
Yearning.
It's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to be married. Not everybody wants to have kids.
Not everybody should be a parent. I'm sorry.
Oof,
but like, I was thinking about this the other day because I'm like, not everybody should even be a boyfriend or a partner to somebody. Like, there are people who really should just be alone, who shouldn't be. Like, that's a lifestyle choice, right? I always say veganism is a lifestyle choice, right? Choosing to be pescatarian, lifestyle choice. But like, choosing to be a parent is also a lifestyle, and it's not for everybody.
It should be a test.
It's not. You should really pass a test prior.
Seriously.
Because
like a license.
It's not for everybody.
I agree, because some parents are
not for everybody. Just because you can create a child doesn't mean you should raise it.
No, absolutely not. So, I don't know. I do want to get into
what was the original point of this topic?
I don't
we
even
went
know.
through a lot of different
What are we talking about?
We got there.
We started with the black girls
race.
in college.
Black girls in college.
Oh, yeah,
went somewhere else after that.
Anthony, I don't know. We're going to keep going. I want to get into since we were talking about parenting, we might as well talk about foster parenting. Okay. Can we get into that now?
Yeah.
Because
no, you're good.
All right. Okay, so I had a thought the other day, and I was like, okay, like, we're trying to get into more like socially uncomfortable topics, I guess, or things that people shy away from. So I'm like, okay, what's another topic we could talk about this week? I wonder if I know anybody who's been in the foster care system. I don't even know why I thought of that. But I'm like, I wonder if I know anybody or somebody who wants to be a foster parent. And then Anthony told me that you were actually like looking into that whole process. So I was like, oh shit, it works. So I want you to tell me, first off, what made you want to do this? Like, be a foster parent?
So I feel like, I don't know if everybody else sees it, but I see a lot of families adopting Black babies, and they're not Black. And when I started to look into or get more information, it's because a lot of Black families are not a part of the adoption process. And not saying Black families don't adopt, because I know a lot of people that adopt family members. Like, I know people that's my sister, but it's really my cousin. And we just do it in a different way. Not saying we don't do it, but it looks very different. But that's not a part of the statistics, right? Because it's just something that, oh, your aunt didn't take care of the child, and so now that's adopted to your family. So seeing that a lot, and then I'm 36. I've always loved being around kids. And I feel like, why do we have to wait to find that one or to have a kid? There's so many kids that are in need right now that are already here on this earth. And I feel like, why not help them? And so I'm starting this process. Literally just had like my first class today. And I meant it when I said people really should have a class or some kind of license to be a parent. The things that they make you go through, like you have to get a physical, you have to do all these things just to see if you are equipped to take care of a child that is already here, which I get why, but I just think about people that just have kids and they don't have to go through any of this.
Nothing at all.
And so I'm excited for the process. I think it will be a grueling process, but I'm excited to see what will happen, because I know there are a lot of kids that are in need. And one question that they asked me was, what race kid do you want? And I was like, Black. And they were like, well, what about Hispanic? Or what about I'm like, no, I said Black. Like, yeah. I know what I said. I don't know how to teach anyone else to be anything else other than Black.
Right.
I'm Black every day.
Yeah.
And I know that is a part that we don't really have a lot of. So let's fill that gap and fill that need. So
yeah. So Anthony had asked you earlier, what's the age range you're looking to adopt?
So in Connecticut, at least, like, you do foster to adopt, right? If that becomes, but it seems like in Connecticut, it's very like they actually have a real process. I think in New York, they're probably overwhelmed. In Connecticut, they definitely try to put them with family first. Like, they look for extended family before they even ask for someone to be a foster parent. They exhaust all that before. So if you're getting a child, maybe it's for respite, as we were talking about, like just for a short period of time for relief, or there's most likely a possibility to adopt that child if they're getting to a foster family. So I think that's a little bit or a lot different than New York from what I've heard. So I'm looking for, if I wanted to adopt a child, I would say like up to age 5. But I'm willing to like foster children probably up until like age 10 or 11. Okay. I'm not ready for anybody's teenager.
Yeah, that's tough.
I mean, I love middle school, but yeah.
Okay. So even a baby up to age 5. So
I know, but I like my sleep. So we're just going to cross that bridge when we get there. I need 8 hours. I get cranky and I get hangry. So I don't know.
She sounds like me. I'm the same way. I'm a baby myself.
I need 8 hours.
Me and put me to sleep.
Exactly. So I don't know.
Right, so the difference between foster and adoption, that's what you just said?
Foster is like, it's temporary relief. The goal is to get them back with their family. Like that would be the goal. Maybe the parent has to finish courses or find stable housing or do something like that. Like maybe their parent is in jail. There's different things like that they would need a foster.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was just looking up the exact what Google says.
And then adopt is
I have no idea what the hell the difference really was, honestly.
Yeah. Foster is like temporary housing.
Yeah, what it says, it says, as a foster parent, you have no legal parental rights, and decision-making is shared by the agency, you, and perhaps the birth parents.
That's annoying.
However, when you adopt, you acquire the same legal rights and responsibilities for your child as birth parents and have for their biological children. Okay.
That's another nuance that I didn't realize is that while you have the foster child, there is still communication with the birth parents. And you're like creating and crafting a birthing, like a plan for them. It's very interesting. I was like, I didn't know about that.
But these parents, they're involved, but they're not like, how are they?
So maybe it's like phone calls with them once a week. Or maybe it's like, they want to go on this trip. What do you think? It's just like trying to get input if the goal is to acclimate them back into their home. Okay. Because you don't want to have this long period of time when you have no connection or talking to your parent and then you're just dropped back in with them.
Yeah, maybe that parent is on drugs.
Yeah, it could be.
That's what I'm wondering. So, like, if they are, how involved will they actually be? Is my thing.
I don't know what the litmus test is, but I guess the social worker would figure that out.
Because I would just think, like, I'm just thinking of a really specific example. Like, if they're addicted to drugs, let's say, and then you can't get a hold of them, but you want to take the child on a vacation, so now you can't take them until those parents.
You ask the social worker though.
The agency. Is another person involved?
Okay. Yeah, because I'm like, damn, that would be annoying.
Because I like to travel.
Because some parents,
we going.
Yeah, and some parents may not still be available like, at all, no matter what. So yeah, all right. So I wanted to actually speak with you about you becoming a doctor. So you have your doctorate in educational leadership, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. So what was, first of all, how do you get to educational leadership? Like, what was your major initially?
Okay, so my pathway, it was not a traditional one. I don't think I do anything traditionally. But, so I went to school, Mount St. Vincent in Riverdale. Love them.
The Bronx. Not Riverdale.
Yonkers, I don't know. Yonkers, a little bit of both. And up the block, no. And I always liked math. And this is why I feel like people don't know people. And I wanted to be a math teacher, I feel like. And people were like, you're not going to make any money. And I was just like, well, no one wants to go to school and not make money.
Right.
So everybody was like, well, do accounting. That's math. So that's what I did. 6 months in accounting, I said, oh, no, this isn't going to work. This is not it. This is boring. I was in a cubicle, but it was a stable job working at the health center.
So you actually got your degree in accounting?
Sure did.
Wow.
And I said, I'm not doing this. This is crazy. Wow. So my friend has told me about teaching fellows, if anybody heard of it, alternate path to become a teacher if you teach in the city. And so I applied, got in, and then I became a math teacher. So I taught in the Bronx for 4 years, and then in New Jersey for a year. And then I was like, okay, I want to do something else. Like, I love teaching, but I was like, I'm ready to do something else. So I consulted. I became director of educational equity. I did that for like 6 years. And then during that time at my old company, my boss approached me and was like, have you ever thought about getting a doctorate? And I was like, I couldn't even conceive that thought because I don't know anyone that looks like me that has their doctorate.
Right.
I had a friend or two that were doctors, like physicians, but like, what are you talking about? And so I literally only applied to one school because I was like, forget it or get in. I don't actually care. And I got into Fordham. I guess they were being generous that year. I don't know. And started my path for educational leadership. And during that, I started to uncover a lot, I think, with the whole program in itself. Mm-hmm. That's another book. But it's like designed for you to fail. Like, you literally go through taking classes on leadership and things like that. And then after you finish your classes, after 2.5 years, you have to write your dissertation or your book or your study. And none of the classes are connected to actually writing your dissertation. So you're left with this, like, okay, I took all those classes and now what? And they're like, and they want you to struggle, but it's unnecessary. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And so luckily for me, during the pandemic, everyone was available all of a sudden. It's great. Because now you can meet on Zoom. My advisor was having me meet with her in person. Do you know how hard it is to schedule people together? Especially she was the dean of education. It was like I was meeting with her like once every 3 months. How are you supposed to make... And she wouldn't give me feedback any other way. It was like literally designing me to fail. But I had this one guy. He was like... focused on survey and data. He was so helpful. And he would meet with me every week, like in the pandemic. Like from January of 2019 till like May, I was meeting with him every week. He would tell me something to do. I would meet with him next week. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have graduated because they just want you to, you could continue doing your doctorate for like 10 years and you're still paying something, even though you're just writing your dissertation and not taking any classes. And so I finished in 5 years, but I don't know if I would be able to finish if it weren't for the pandemic because people were just making excuses and making it hard.
So what exactly is what was your dissertation on? Like, is it like a different number of things?
Nope.
One topic.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Okay.
The impact of technology integration on distributed leaders. So what it really means in layman's terms. I would study technology integration in the classroom. I studied one tool called Nearpod. If anyone
they use that in my school.
Yep. So I studied that and I talked to teacher leaders, instructional coaches to see who really had a greater influence on how Nearpod actually got into classrooms and who used it.
Okay.
That's in layman's terms. Okay. Distributed leadership is like, you don't have to actually be assistant principal or principal to have a role on making things happen in the school.
Okay. So once a dissertation is done, because I always wondered about dissertation. It's a book.
Like
so
200
someone's
pages.
Actually reading it? Or it's
a whole committee and they have to approve it. You have to have a committee of, I had 3 people on my committee and they have to approve it. You have to like defend it. You have to defend your proposal midway through that you can actually do this study. Then you have to conduct the research, all this stuff.
That's intimidating.
Yeah. And then you get to the end. But most of the times if you get to the end to defend your dissertation, you got it because they don't even let you get there unless.
And do they publish it?
Yeah.
So this is out.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna Google it.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, that's lit.
Doing this, you have to pick something that hasn't been researched before, something, right? It can't be like
tough.
doing something that. So it's like your own new, findings.
Wow, but that's a good way to get new research out there.
That's what it is.
Everybody who's doing it,
you had to, and it was timely for me because I did it on Nearpod when the pandemic hit. So everybody was using Nearpod. So it just aligned. If I had to do it again, I would do it on something else though. I don't feel like I was just like passionate.
I don't think I could do it.
But
that's a lot. That's a lot.
Gotcha.
And so after that, I didn't say what I said. What did I do? Okay, so I did that. And then I became assistant principal, which I loved. They couldn't pay me enough. And then now I'm director of curriculum and instruction. But I miss being with the kids. I think that's the best part of being like in a school. So
but now you create the curriculum for the entire school district, correct?
Yeah.
What curriculum do you use? Now look at me all nerdy out.
So for reading, we just acquired Scholastic as our new reading program. We use Foundations for Phonics.
Foundations.
Those
you ever heard of Spire?
Aspire?
Spire, just no. Spire. It's really good. It's a good reading program. It's phonological awareness and phonics integrated together. No. It's really good.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, and it has different grades.
Yeah.
Because Foundations is more like for the young, for
K2.
For like K2, but if you want, because I work in the Bronx, so like I have 4th graders who still can't read, 5th graders who still can't read, so that would help them
get those phonic awareness.
It's really good. I'll send you whatever info I have on it. And so what else? And then for math, Envision. My school uses Envision. I don't know.
We do use Envision.
Envision, right?
Great. Good job. Social studies, we use a BOCES curriculum from...
I don't even think my kids are getting social studies. I think they're getting regular.
And science comes from BOCES. It's not from packaged curriculum.
Okay.
But my job right now is kind of do like a SWOT analysis, the strengths, weaknesses for our current curriculum. Because right now, like when I got there, nothing was written on paper. Like there was no scope and sequence. It was like people were just doing whatever they wanted to do. There was no oversight. It was insane. And so now I have them using this program, writing down what they're doing and sharing it with parents. Like I shared a whole scope and sequence of like what kids are doing. So like they were learning fractions in March. They better be learning fractions in March because that's what you told the parents.
Yeah.
And so it's holding them accountable to a different level. So I'm excited for that work. But
oh my God.
They probably hate me, but
they definitely hate you. They're like,
Mom, you have to write this down. You better do it. It's a district initiative.
Yeah, I love that.
Because when I worked in the Bronx, literally, we had our stuff written on paper. We were held accountable. I mean, we didn't share with parents, but at least everybody that taught math was doing the same thing. Here, it was kind of like people closing their doors, and you don't know what's going on in there. They playing Ring Around the Rosie. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how it is now, but do you see like the improvement, like graduation rates since you've taken over this job? Like, how has the education? How has the kids been? Has it been an improvement since you've been there?
It was 1 year, and I was in COVID.
Oh, that's right. You did start kind of.
Yeah. But also, where am I at? Don't say it. But where am I at? It was fine to begin with. That's where I need to go where my help is needed.
Yeah. You need to come to my school.
Well, I don't know if that's on the topics.
That was not on the topics because she had said that she didn't want to get into detail and we respected that.
Oh, no. I wasn't going to go crazy. No, what I was going to say is, no. Because we already established being black. Out. And that's going to be there. That's true. But also about... Because there's a lot of people like, I'm just gonna say my friend. I'm not gonna say his name, but he has no desire to come back and work in. I hate the word urban, but quote unquote urban environment.
People that look like him. That's what you should say.
He likes where he works at. He doesn't want to come back to the school district. His school district where he went to school at. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's more now. He's been there for so long, but so he's like,
be comfortable. It's easy to stay there.
He just got a promotion too, so I ain't gonna say he gonna text me after this.
It's easy to stay there,
motherfucker.
I know,
but he gonna laugh about it because I'm telling the truth.
Okay,
but you would feel a little bit more fulfillment inside you came. That's the question. You don't gotta be like. If you came back,
you're actually making a difference.
For me, right now, it was like it was a career move that I'm glad I made. I don't regret it. Money good. The title is what I wanted. It's just not in the district that I desire. And so, if I can get this experience and transfer it to help my own people, that's gonna be my goal.
Okay, question though: would you be willing to do it? But there's a pay cut.
I've taken pay cuts before. Okay. That doesn't bother me.
Okay, as
long as I can live off of it. But for me, it doesn't bother me.
Not that much of a pay cut. If y'all
but my no.
Yeah, I'm saying we just want to make sure.
Don't be crazy. Don't be crazy.
Not
Google
that crazy.
It. But for me, it's the work-life balance that would get me. Because I know coming back to a district where it's higher needs, like right now, if I go home, my work phone is in the car. I am not doing work at home. I've set that boundary. For years, I used to do work all the time.
Yeah.
And here, I don't have to.
Yeah.
And so that in itself is worth a different type of amount.
No, yeah, for sure.
And so I actually think if I went to a district where high needs, I would want to do it part-time. Because don't have that expectation. I'm going to be here to 7 o'clock No, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, like I used to get emails like 7, 8 o'clock at night and they still going. Yeah. And it's just like, whoa. Yeah. I'm not even looking at this until the morning.
Yeah.
So stop it.
I've stopped myself. Even if I check it like on the weekend, I'm like, oh, nope. Monday morning they will get a response. Right. Even if I schedule and send. But what I won't do.
My weekends are mine. My evenings are mine.
They will expect it.
Yes, they will.
I've gotten phone calls from like my managers and I've seen their name pop up and I just ignore it. And then they'll ask someone that I'm cool with at my job to contact me and I'll see their name and I ignore it. And then they hit me. I'm like, yo, what? And I'm like, I already know you're calling me because of this person. So I'm just ignoring that shit.
I saw this pass.
I saw, nope,
thank you. I'm off. Don't fucking call me.
No.
I'm not doing that shit.
They don't even have my personal number.
Yeah.
Don't call me.
Yo, they be having to go. They be like, yo, they had to ask so many people to get my number. And I be like, just keep it that way.
Oh, I use a Google Voice number, so it's a whole different number.
Oh, see, you even better with that one.
So
I just never.
They be having. That's a work call. Yeah.
Bro, they be having to ask so many people to get my number, and I just be like, keep it that way.
I have like some number from Tennessee, like some random.
Can't. Yeah. Why you got that number, girl?
Girl, don't worry about it. Did you want to talk about the doubt from colleagues?
Yes, because I hope I remember the story correctly. A previous employer though. I know. But I don't want to go too crazy in detail.
Yeah, don't go. So
but even though you weren't encouraged, but then didn't you have some doubt from your previous employer as well?
Yes. Okay. So this is. You said good.
I don't want to. Yeah, that's what it was.
So okay.
Yes.
So like
I'll let you butcher it.
Thank you. I'll butcher it. It was a butcher, but I won. When I was asked to it was suggested that I get my doctorate. I looked at it like, oh, they see something in me, whatever. But then it became, oh, you need your doctorate to have this position in the company. And then it was like, wait a minute, why do I need that when other people are in the same path and they don't have it? Oh, because I'm the only Black person, which I was. And so years later, I thought about that. And ironically, when I came to see it for what it was, I left before I got my doctorate. And I got my position before I got my doctorate because I earned the position, doctorate or not. And so it's so funny because now I'm kind of their boss because now their consultant works in my district. So I have a say of whether they get to keep the contract or not. And I keep decreasing it on purpose.
Yo. Don't you love that?
She had to call me.
Is that poetic justice?
That's karma.
That's karma. That's fucking karma.
That's karma.
Holy shit.
Had to call me like,
I knew this story, but I didn't know the whole. So I didn't hear her tell the story. I didn't want to fuck it up.
Yeah, she was like, oh, I heard you worked there. Oh, I just, Because when I left, she was red hot. It did not end on a good note, and that was her problem. But it's funny how it comes back around in 2 years.
And it's like the double whammy because it's like you're Black and you're a woman. So it's like if she was a man, it might have been different. Yeah. Maybe. No, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Nat likes that kind of petty.
Yeah, I do.
She loved that shit.
When we had our contract this year, she probably thought I was gonna like kick them out. But what I did, she was like, I was gonna meet with just the consultant an hour before. Oh, so-and-so was gonna come on the call too. Oh, she real scared. So she came on. I was like, this is what we're doing for next year. Oh, okay. Well, how are you doing? Yeah, you can't game me. I worked here. I know how it goes. And this is what I want. And you're not going to ask me to give you any more. You're lucky I'm giving you that. But next year, you going. Bye. Allegedly.
We don't know.
Entertainment purposes only.
Entertainment purposes. Listen, we're not putting that out there.
Just kidding.
Aside from all of that, all of those accomplishments, you wrote a book.
I did.
Yes. Hold on. Let me do a horn for this. So this book is called Bougie Bert and Me. Yes, Bougie Bert and Me. And talk about it. What was the inspiration? It's based on your life, kind of. You altered some details.
Yeah, okay. So I never pictured I would be an author. Let's be very clear. I definitely was a math teacher up to 6th grade, to be specific. And my dad last year was diagnosed with leukemia. And in that process, definitely... like, you start to reflect on a lot of things, and he would just talk about wanting a dog, and I was just like, all right, well, when Kwanzaa came up, because that's what we celebrate, I was like, I want to get him a gift, and I want to get him a dog. But during the pandemic, it was very hard to find dogs. I don't know if anybody know this, because I think everybody was trying to get dogs or keep them because they were lonely in their house. And so my dad was trying, I was trying, and then I found this shelter, this lady in Connecticut, and she said, I have the perfect dog for you, but we have to bring him up from Georgia. So I was like, all right, well, Georgia, whatever you got to do. And I put my cousin up to it. I said, okay, I didn't want to tell my dad. I wanted it to be a surprise. So I'm like, okay, you have to go like get a Christmas tree or something. I don't know. To get him out there to go with you. And so they went out there and literally, my dad was just like so ecstatic. Like he had no idea that he got this dog. And so it was just like great. I couldn't be there for various reasons, but I got it all in video. And so he got the dog. Everything was, well, I wouldn't say everything was well, because he fell day one of having the daggone dog, because Bert is very excited and he follows you. Like once he knows you're his owner, he's underneath you, whatever. My dad literally fell, but he was okay. He wouldn't tell me. So, but my dad would tell me different stories about Bert, and I'm just like, but he's a dog, because I've never had a dog. My dad had a dog when I was a baby, but I never grew up with a dog. And so earlier this year, when my dad would go to the hospital, I would have to have Bert. And so, like, he literally had to show me how to walk this dog, because I didn't know what I was doing. I got a little pooper scooper, because I am not touching that. And I began to see, like, something wrong with this dog. Like, he is definitely different. And some things would be like, he would bring his food in his mouth and bring it in front of the TV just to eat. One day I got the wrong food. And I didn't know I got the wrong food, but I knew he didn't eat in 2 days. He was just walking past the food like, And come to find out, it was chicken, because he eats lamb. Okay? Bougie. So I was like, my dad was like, he's going to eat it. I was like, he's not eating. I had to take the food back. Like, it was insane. And so, like, if it rains, snows, anything, he would go outside and just look for the grass, because he's like, he don't want to touch anything. He would just run back inside. It was just like, this dog is nuts. And so one day I literally just like, I was like, I want to write a book. And so wrote down a little draft and found an editor, which I realized the editing process was probably the hardest process for me.
Really?
Because when you spend time, even if it's a day or a few hours or it's your idea, editors, their job is to make it for that focus group. They have a niche, right? They know what they're writing for. And I was like mad that my words were changed. And you can't be attached to that. You have to make sure your vision is the same, the goal is the same, and they're trying to enhance your story.
Okay.
So for me, it was just like, this is editing? But that's what I realized it was. And for the better, because she tied in like I could still call it Bougie, Bert, and me, but I never explained what bougie was in my draft. So little things like that, it made sense. And so wrote the book. My dad unfortunately passed away, and so now Bert is my dog. Crazy. He's probably going crazy right now looking for me. But it's like a little part of me. And just finished the book in September, but my dad passed away in July. Kind of bittersweet, but it's like a little part that I always have. Yeah. And I never thought I would have a dog. If anybody knows me, knows I have OCD, and they're like, "You with a dog? Are you crazy?"
Yeah, but that's like a piece of your dad.
Yeah.
Oh my God! As Good as It Gets, the movie with Jack Nicholson.
Never seen it.
God damn.
Sorry. That's excited.
No. Because I just thought about it. As Good as It Gets, Jack Nicholson, he had OCD. He was crazy as fuck.
That sounds
Hands
a
up
familiar.
with a dog. Out, and his
OCD goes out the window?
You're not that fucking insane. Slowly starts going out the window. But you weren't that insane. Like
some might disagree with you.
No, like he would go on, like when he would get in the house, he would like turn the locks like a certain amount of times. 10 times.
He was really OCD.
Like that's what I mean. Not like that crazy. So then, all right. So there's 3 characters in the book are.
So when I wrote the book, I wrote it a little bit differently because I wanted kids to be able to connect to it. So the girl in the book is myself, but I made her have leukemia. The first opening scene is her at the doctor's office. I feel like this book can be used to have that difficult conversation, even if it's the kid going through cancer or leukemia, someone in the family, just having that dialogue with kids, because otherwise I don't know how people have these conversations. And then the other character is my dad. He was an Army vet. Also a little reason why he has leukemia, but we're not going to talk about that. And then Bert, of course. And so I just kind of flipped the character. So Jasmine has leukemia and the dad gets Bert for her. It ends with like Bert being exactly what they needed and things like that. I definitely plan on doing a part 2. And probably we'll talk about like death, because why not? It's really a part of life. I know I've dealt with my first experience of death when I was 8. My dad's mother died. And so it's like, I don't remember a conversation. I remember being in the first row at the funeral in front of the casket and like, okay, I guess this is what death is. And there was never that dialogue about anything. And so just trying to use books as a way to have conversation, like Black hair was also a big part of my book. Jasmine goes through 3 different hairstyles. In the Black community, hair is a big thing. My hair ain't right, I don't feel right. And even in the editing process, she had Jasmine in the bed. And I was like, where's her scarf? She Black. Like, she go to sleep with a scarf on. So do that, make it as real as possible.
Yeah. So this book, would you say, was like therapeutic for you to write in a way?
Yeah.
Like to process everything?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to ask, like, you know, I always get deep. So I wanted to ask, like, how did you process everything, like, with your dad, like, finding out he had cancer and everything? Like, what was that process for you, I guess, to grieve or cope with it? Or you just, like...
No, therapy. That's what people need. But, I mean, every day, I feel like I didn't really cope with it probably until, like, last month.
Okay.
I'm a very busy person, as you've only seen a snippet, but I stay active so I don't have to deal with things. But, you know, after a while, you are going to have some moments of silence and be reminded and have some reality. And just knowing that it's like you have to cherish the times that you did have. Because the last page of the book, I put a picture. We were able to do Anthony. Took some pictures with me and my dad on Father's Day and put, you know, the photo in the book. And so little things like that is like, you just have to cherish the moments that you have.
Yeah.
But cut people off when it don't work.
Circle back. All right. So I want to get into the last topic. Are we ready?
No.
So this was the one we've been waiting for.
I don't remember.
It's about yes.
Okay.
Right? Insatiable? Yeah.
Oh, so
God.
This is the Natalie and Jasmine conversation here.
Hold on, get comfy.
Or you know what? I'm gonna start some shit. I'm gonna start some shit for the fellas out there. This is just women in general.
Here we go. Here we fucking go. Let me get comfy for this.
I love this. They both took their sip.
Go ahead.
Same time, put their cup down at the same time.
I'm comfy.
Cause no, let's be real. As men,
we be real.
As men, right? We've all dated women, beautiful women. They all great,
goal-driven, ambitious women.
But these women are never happy, are never satisfied.
I wouldn't say happy.
It's never enough for them. Why the silence? Why the awkward silence? Why the awkward silence all of a sudden?
All right. Well, you know what? I was going to segue into being insatiable in relationships, but let's hold that. All right. Let's pause that. Let's put a button.
I know we wasn't there yet. We was talking about life.
Right. We talking about life in general.
Why are you always bringing it back to that?
Right.
That's not everybody's goal.
I'm sorry. I just had to inject a little bit of. That was for the clickbait.
Okay, so for people who don't know what, because a lot of people don't even know what insatiable means.
I didn't know until we were talking.
It's
I'm
basically
like,
just never being satisfied. That's all it is. So if we're talking about
always wanting more. I like it in a positive light.
Yes, right. That's better.
Always wanting more.
So I was actually listening to a podcast. They were talking about this. This is called Oprah calls it destination addiction. So like always focused on where you're going, what's next, and always being addicted to that, where you're not taking time to just enjoy the present accomplishments. And it's not that I don't enjoy the present accomplishments. It's just like I'm not okay with mediocrity. I know my potential, and I know I have the ability to do so much more in a lot of aspects of my life. So for me, it's just like, all right, I did this. Cool. I'm grateful. This was amazing. I worked hard. What's next? There's nothing wrong with that. It gives me something to like work towards, something to look forward to. Like when I finished school and I finally got my job, I felt completely like, what the fuck now? What am I doing now? Once you get your career, it's like, fuck, I worked my whole life for this. I'm here. Now what? I don't think I was being fully fulfilled spiritually or emotionally.
You thought it would fill some void.
Yeah, and it didn't. You know what really fills the void? Doing this podcast. Like, that sounds corny.
This is my baby. Corny. That's your passion.
This is my passion, and there's always room to grow here. So I'm always like, oh, next week we could try this. Next week. So there's always like, I need change. I need movement. I need productivity. I need it. So for me, I don't know. It drives me. Like, I can't be stagnant.
See, this is why I don't understand why you're not more like me then.
What do you mean?
I thrive in chaos and like not being organized and just like
like
I thrive in that shit.
No, it's
perfect for you then.
Wait,
We're not talking about
because you're so organized.
It's still chaos.
Because
she overschedules.
But this is what I'm saying.
Chaos.
But that's why it's
organized chaos.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's like you think too much about it. I don't think. I just fucking do it, and it just comes out amazing all the time. Just go with the flow with the shit.
So
that's what I'm saying.
No, sorry.
Yes,
I can't. All right, I'm the type of person, if I go with the flow, I may not really do much. Like, I need deadlines, I need a schedule, I need structure in order to do it.
So, I hear both points.
Mine is just a counter.
No, yeah, that's fine.
That's my point. I hear both points. So, being 36, I have been insatiable and always wanting more. And now I'm here, wherever here is, I'm like, that's not really what I wanted, right? Or that's great, but that didn't fill that void that I thought it would. Oh, you a doctor? That's great. Everybody's like, oh my God. I'm like, so what?
Right.
I don't look at school as like it's a thing. It's like, yeah, for my profession, I guess I need it, but I don't think I'm any smarter than anybody else. I think I'm determined. I think I can persevere, but that doesn't make me necessarily like the smartest person. So, but I also have tried to embrace going with the flow more, because you get to enjoy those moments so far. Like me going to Vegas 2 weeks before and being like, I'm going to this concert. I don't care. I'm just going. And I'm I over plan, do so many things. And sometimes you just got to just do it. Oh, you want me to do this? Because usually if it's not on my schedule, I'm not doing anything. Right. But now it's like, oh, I could do that. Yeah. Why not? You may get some joy out of that. So I understand both sides is what I'm saying.
And I have gotten better.
But it took me 36 years to get there.
I have gotten better at being a little more spontaneous, adding things on a weekday that I probably wouldn't normally do. Because girl, I gotta wake up at 5 a.m. But keep talking. I'm sorry, I forgot my point. No, but being insatiable. But I do wanna talk about being insatiable in terms of in a relationship, because
I think it's intimidating for men.
Ooh, we'll talk about it.
I think so. I think, like you said, they're never happy, so it doesn't matter what you're gonna do. That's their perception. A person
I'm not intimidated by that, though.
Not you. Maybe others.
Yeah, because all right,
because to me, it's more like an annoyance. It's not like so I'll say it's not an intimidation thing. It's more like an annoyance. It's like, yo, like fuck, like it's never enough. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, cool, you want to strive for more and achieve more. I just really don't like when people set goals themselves, achieve it, and are disappointed or mad and like they're like depressed about it.
Yeah, like when you're mad that it didn't happen in the timeline that you wanted it to happen.
That's what I really dislike.
I'm glad I'm graduating school, but damn, I'm 30. I should have done this when I was 22 or 23. And it's like, but you're doing it. So shut the fuck up.
So like, if you set a goal for yourself, you achieve it, then you set another goal. All right, you know what? Fine, that's cool. Like that's good. That's not what I mean. Where I just feel like is when people you set a goal, you achieve it, and then it's like, whatever. And it's like you didn't achieve anything. You didn't get anything out of it. And it's like, what the fuck? Well, you're never going to be satisfied. You're just going to keep searching for something your whole life. No matter what you do, it's never going to be enough.
Okay, so for you, I hear that it's annoying, right? But for other men, it is intimidating. Yeah. Because maybe not you, and it's probably hard for you to like.
No, I want to hear why.
My experience with certain guys that I've dated has been that because they're so happy not striving for more. Like I remember one day I was dating somebody and I was on Trulia, and I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna like save money and I'm gonna buy this house and it's gonna be really nice." And he was like, oh, that's too out of your price range. You're never going to be able to afford that. Like, why can't you just be happy with with your apartment now? Like, and I used to even talk about like mental growth. Like, I want to go to therapy just so I could be better, become a better person, become more self-aware. And he was like, oh, like all that psycho mumbo jumbo, that's bullshit. Like, why do you need to change and evolve? Fuck evolution. Like, just be you. Just be yourself. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I hope y'all were dating.
Was like,
I told you should have found a guy in college.
Not that long. Don't trust me, not that long. But for me, it was just kind of like, I've dated men, like even my first boyfriend, when I was starting to make more money, he was intimidated by that because it was like, he couldn't like control me in a sense. Like it was easier for him to like give me money or pay for certain things so that way he could dictate to me like what I could and couldn't do. And it was just like there are men who are intimidated when you are striving for more, when you do have goals, when you want to go back to school, when you want that higher paying position, because they're not doing shit.
They're scared you're gonna put that expectation on them.
Exactly. Oh, girl.
Like God forbid. You start doing better, you gonna expect more from me.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I am.
And they don't want that. They don't want to do that work. They don't want to do the work.
I'm good over here.
So maybe it's not that way for you.
I'm not that type of person. I'm not that person at all.
It's not you.
It's not you, but
it's
there are men who are definitely intimidated by that. And it's just like, damn. But then they're just not for you. Because you can't be with no bum ass.
And maybe their bum and your bum is two different things.
Right.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
So then they're doing it. Maybe they're the best one to do it in their family. It's still not enough for you.
I just don't believe in settling for less in any aspect of my life. If I ever feel like I'm settling for less, I'm just not going to do it.
Nope.
And that's
all or nothing. Period. Cool.
I have to snap.
I need the goddamn jazz and fucking more candles in this bitch. Like darker and lights over here. Snap session.
For real. All or nothing.
Spoken word coming out.
All or nothing. Spoken word. Shut the fuck up. You're annoying.
Where my dashiki at?
How are we feeling after that episode? Are we good?
That was great. I had fun.
See, I told you Jazz would be great.
Jazz is awesome. Jazz, you gotta come back so we could really talk some more shit.
I'm gonna make sure I don't have a class before.
Nah, for real. That was ridiculous. She was also, like a 3-hour class.
I'm still awake.
Also, we planned this the day of the book release.
That was in September.
Oh, wow.
I had it in my calendar as podcast. I said, I don't know what this is for.
She's like, podcast?
I didn't put nothing else. Nothing else. Podcast.
We were sitting at the bar drinking and talking.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, you're coming on the podcast. I don't give a fuck what you say. And I was like, yeah, you're coming on.
Wait, did you have reservations? Were you nervous? Or were you like...
I'm just going to do it.
Okay, good. Good.
I said, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah, you just come and be yourself. Yeah.
Just do it.
Just be yourself.
One small topic I wanted to talk about. And Jazz, good person to talk about this. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because, like, when I did the photo shoot for Jazz's, her and her dad, and I did the photo shoot for the book, I was like, yo, don't worry about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't got to give me nothing for this. I'm doing it, like, because off the love. Like, you know what I mean? She's like, no. She's like, no. You don't want to work at your job no more, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, here. And she gave me money for it. I'm like, you don't got to give me nothing for this. Like, I'm doing it for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know? And it's like, nah. So the topic basically was like, yo, when like, even when your friends are doing something, you see your friends working hard to try to achieve something, supporting them in that way is just like, you know what?
Not expecting a discount.
Just support them how it is. Like, yeah. She was just like, nah, fuck that shit.
I was like, I'm selling you money. I don't care. You're going to end up with this under your pillow in a minute. You better take it.
For real.
She was like, yeah,
if someone is doing a service, whether your friends or not, like, you pay them for it. Like, my friends, we had, I have a few friends in education. They brought like, I bought like 20 books because I'm going to buy it from my kindergarten class.
Aww.
Okay. Thanks. Appreciate it. Because the love it, you know, you just give it back.
Yeah.
But everybody has a goal. Nobody wants to do nothing for free.
It's true.
We all got goals.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
No, thanks for having me. I don't know what this is going to look like, but...
No, it's going to look great.
I may have to come back out of Instagram retirement.
It's going to look good.
Because we can't tag your back business
page? What? You tag me, not collaborate.
Yeah.
All right.
Tag you, not collaborate? Oh, God.
You got to be specific. That page is public.
Oh, my God.
Okay?
I'm collaborating.
All right, guys. Like always, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Peace.